Meditation can meditation brings you closer to your true self, okay? Even if it's just 5 to 10 minutes of practicing meditation, it improves your sleep quality, it increases your daily productivity, and helps you focus better. If you're a beginner and wondering how to meditate, this is the best way to do this, okay? So, first of all, let's understand what meditation is. Meditation, the definition of it is it's meditation is a discipline where you carve out time from your busy schedule to reconnect with your inner self, finding peace and clarity. And so how to meditate, it starts with creating a moment of stillness, right? So you have to get to a point where you can be still, where you can clear your mind. And when you're clearing your mind, you're and that's not easy to do, especially like, so for me, I am, uh and I don't like using, stereotypes or using, particular words on myself, like as in, like, saying I have ADHD. I don't use that as a crutch. I use it as a blessing. And so I feel like anything that you do have going on with yourself that, medically wise or anything like that, it's supposed to be a blessing. I know sometimes it's hard to look at it that way, especially, when I first started realizing that I had ADHD, I felt it was a crutch. I felt that it was, it prevented me from being able to focus, from all these things, and so I looked at it negatively. And when I started looking at it more as a positive, so, more positively, that's when even meditating became a lot more less challenging. Okay, it became a lot less challenging for me. So one of the things that you can start with to help with that is the breathing, right? We have to learn how to do the breath work in order to get to that stillness. So when you're when you think of it as spending quality time with your mind, that also helps too. And absolutely, because your mind needs a break, right? We need to have a break from the hustle. If I could speak today, from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, right? From having to wake up early, having to take your kids to school, all the things that you have to accomplish right as you're waking up, you know, and already thinking about all the things that you need to get accomplished throughout that day. Your mind is constantly going. So to quiet your mind is huge. It's huge. It absolutely helps. So to truly grasp the meditation techniques and the essence of this practice, you have to indulge in daily practice of meditation. It has to be like something that you definitely motivate yourself and you're doing constantly every day. Okay. So again, with the breath work, it's breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. But it's more than just that. It's actually taking longer inhales and then exhaling through your mouth. But it's also paying attention to your breathing. When you start to pay attention to your breathing, you can quiet your mind because guess what? You're focusing on breathing, right? You're focusing on that inhale, you're focusing on that exhale. You're not thinking about, oh, what do I have to do today? Where do I need to go today? What do I need to get accomplished today? You're not thinking about your checklist, your goals. You're thinking about breathing in and breathing out. And so we're going to start doing this in the beginning of every show. And I'm going to walk you through just a daily meditation. And I think that, once you embrace it, and once you really start putting it into effect, again, it's going to help with that productivity. I mean, there's been many of studies. I'm one to tell you right now, the more I meditate, the more my productivity works for me, even with my ADHD. Okay. Again, I don't look at that as a crutch. I look at that as a positive. And so there's meditation helps to like regulate overwhelming emotions, and it cultivates kindness and compassion towards yourself and the rest of the world, which is awesome. I mean, let's think about that for a minute. In meditating, you can cultivate kindness with yourself, but then with other people too. It does. It seems to give you a calm, right? It's a calm before the storm, like what I like to put. And instead of saying depressed, I like to put that. But it can help with even depression, because you're starting to be more kinder to yourself by giving yourself that break, that mindlessness for a little bit, if you will, right? So, and meditation is the key to finding peace in the chaos of today's fast paced world, like what I was saying earlier. It really is. We are constantly moving in such a fast pace that we just don't take the time to slow down. So, when you actually do take the time to do that, to be quiet, to be still, it absolutely changes that fast pacedness that we continuously are experiencing, especially in today's world. I mean, I'm one of them. I have a hard time sitting down for quite some time. I have a hard time, and I don't like to use that word, but like it's a challenge. It's a challenge for me to sit down. It's a challenge for me to not be up and moving around and constantly going, because I feel like I need to. But then when I started doing my meditation on a daily basis, and then multiple times throughout the day too, I will have. Sometimes there are days where I have to just take another 5 to 10 minutes just for myself, for my brain, just to be quiet, to be still, to focus on myself, to focus on what uh, is best, right? For me to be able to move through the rest of my day. And a lot of times there's things that will come into your day, like as we were speaking about earlier, there are others that come into your day too that can create some of or they're trying to push that chaos or their stress or their fast pacedness. They're trying to push that on you. And in order to not allow that to happen, I'm telling you, meditation is definitely where it's at. And it definitely helps with that too. So as you embrace the meditation, there's meditation for beginners. And I use the calming app a lot. And I highly suggest the Calming app. The Calm app is and it's called Calm, not Calming, sorry. The Calm app is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And they have beginners guided meditation. They have just like, kind of like little 5 to 20 minute, little talks about what you're different. So what I'm doing, they have that on the Calm app too, which is just more of you can find who you like to listen to and whose voice is the most soothing for you when you do your meditation. And when you go into those meditations, you can find who you like and who you'd like to listen to and start listening to them on a daily basis. Um, so, how to meditate properly? There's not really an answer on how to meditate properly. However, it is good to understand the connection between the meditation and psychology. So one must explore the perceptual and conjunctive if I could talk today, conjunctive abilities associated with different meditation for beginners. Even if you do that, you will still find no right or wrong way of meditation in response to how to meditate. But, there are a few types of meditation that will train your mind to focus and concentrate better. Okay, there's a lot of that, right? So, and you want to focus on a specific thing. So, again, breath is one of the best things. Or a mantra, okay, that can chant while meditating. So, if the breathing's not working, you can also do like a mantra and do a chant while you're meditating that will also, help you uh, calm and quiet the mind and be still. And then on the other, other types of meditation can help become more aware and mindful of your thoughts, remove worries about the past, and future, and focus on the present moment. And that's another thing. So meditation, focus. Oh my gosh, it's so great! Like to be able to be in the present moment and not be here, 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 right? So right now, my present moment is me sitting here and talking to you guys about meditation, right? So my mind is here and it's not thinking about other things or other people right now. It's just really focusing on the present moment and speaking with you guys right now. And I think a lot of that is very challenging for us too in this world too, because right, we have so many distractions, our phone being one of them. And look, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're going to do the Calm app, make sure to put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Because if you don't have it on Do Not Disturb, you're going to get disturbed or distracted. I should say not disturbed, but distracted. The psychology the effects of meditation are really surprising too. So there's a scientist across the world investigating various meditation techniques for beginners and advanced level practitioners. So, you know, how, like, just to find what works for you best. Like, so for me, there's meditate, like there's the Calm app. There are a lot of different things that are out there that you can also find too that can help you with that. Mine, like I said, it's Calm. I really don't have anything else to reference or to give you, honestly, in other things that are out there. But I do agree with understanding the psychology of your brain, understanding the psychology of how uh, you work, how others that you're around. Let me come back. Let me go back to that for a minute. So, being alone too when meditating is huge. I highly suggest being just you in a quiet area, quiet room. I would suggest like some very calming, soothing, relaxing music, which I'd like to incorporate when I'm doing mine as well. So you guys will hear some of the different landscape, or just soothing tunes that you can have as well in order to meditate with. That's huge for me. I like those soothing sounds, so we'll incorporate that as well. Consistency, I will say I have had definitely some hardship in life, and sometimes with having the consistency to do my meditation. There was a time where I just wasn't motivated, and it was once I got back into it, it's beautiful. It was beautiful because I needed it. I know I needed it, and I, for some reason, whatever I was going through at that time frame just wasn't helping me with my consistency in my meditation. And I do feel that the more I do it, the better off I am. Again, the more productive, the more kind to myself and to others I become. And I think that that's just huge. And, just understanding how it affects you. And when you start seeing the results, it's, it's beautiful. It really is. It's so much more enlightening and calming, and your just your whole inner being, like that's what it is. You're focusing on your inner being, which is, that how, whatever your religious beliefs are or background is, we are made up in God's image. So that inner being is where you're going to find your spirituality. You're going to find your relationship with whomever that is with for you. Um, you can meditate wherever and whenever. Honestly, I meditate when I'm driving. It keeps me calm. It keeps me less frustrated when it comes to other drivers. So that's one meditation spot that really I appreciate and that I utilize quite frequently. And then there is the meditation aspect of, where when you're going to bed. Like, I mean, right before I go to bed, I really enjoy just getting my meditation practice then as well. It helps me to sleep better, focusing on my breathing. Even if I'm not just meditating, I'm still focusing on my breathing right before bed. So it keeps you calm and it keeps you at a bliss, right? At a peace that is just, it's, the only other way I can tell you guys how this really works for me is just it's so peaceful. It's so peaceful. And we want peace in our lives, do we not? Like that is something that we all, I feel, would crave or should be craving is peace of mind, peace in your life, and joy. And so there's that. And then managing your thoughts. I can't tell you how important it is to manage your thoughts, because our thoughts create our reality. Okay, so when you do have that meditation time and you're able to manage your thoughts in within that time frame and become more peaceful with your thoughts, even if it's a negative thought. So I'll have a negative thought that will come and creep in. However, that doesn't stop me. It does not stop me from being at peace or think or changing it. I'll change it to more of a positive versus the negative. And these are just things that I utilize throughout my day and tools that I use to be the better version of myself. And I truly believe that, we are here to be a better version of ourselves every day. So therefore we need to be practicing what we preach. We need to be practicing what we need, what our body needs, what our health needs, what our mind needs. And again, when we put those thoughts in more of a management kind of situation, I feel that it definitely does um, start our day better, right? It puts those negative thoughts to bay. In my opinion, from what I've experienced in my meditation, it has definitely put those negative thoughts way more at bay, because I would rather think better of myself and better of other people than I would wanting to think of them in a negative light, or even myself, like, right? Because I mean, we need to love ourselves. We can't love other people if we don't truly know what loving ourselves means, right? And you know, if you feel differently on that, or you have something to say about that, please let me know. But that's those are, in my opinion, those are facts. So before bed, like, again, before bed, the sleep that I get more REM sleep, I feel, uh, when I do my meditation before bed, or even my breathing, like I said, even my controlled breathing before bed, it just definitely helps me to get that much of a restful and REM sleep that is needed. The next thing, is it's easy to meditate in quiet and comfortable place. So the less noise and distraction that you have is better, of course, right? So we definitely need to take that into consideration. Get comfortable and pay attention. Pay attention to the way you're sitting. Pay attention to, your positioning with where your hands are placed. And another thing about meditation too is you need to be able to let your body just loose, be not heavy. Because I mean, let's think about it. All day, every day, we have this heavy body that we have to walk around with, and we have to maneuver throughout our day, right? And things just start to get heavy. Our body gets heavy. So just being able to completely relax our body is huge, and getting into that comfortable. We have so many moments, I feel, in our life and in our day where we're uncomfortable, or we need to be uncomfortable, and that's fine too. I'm not saying you can't be uncomfortable throughout the day. If you're uncomfortable, that means you're actually doing or trying something different or new, and those that there's nothing wrong with that. But there is a time, I feel, in a place where we need to just be able to let our body loose, and just be able to be loose, and just be uh, relaxed. We need to feel relaxed, and our body needs it, and so does our mind. So that's why, again, meditation is so amazing, and such a great thing that we can incorporate in our day. You want to um, you want to definitely make sure you don't have any external distractions, and if they do, you need to make sure that you know when to, like, hey, I hear that. I'm not going to focus on it. I'm not going to tune in on it. I'm going to tune it out, and I'm going to stay right where I'm at in my present meditation moment. So I feel that that is a big thing too. Once we go into doing our meditations first thing before starting my show, I think that that's going to be huge. Um, so make sure you're doing all of these things, because I mean, this is what's going to help you be able to really incorporate the meditation into your daily. And when I am doing the meditation and guided meditation with you in the morning, I want you guys to be able to be in a comfortable position, right? I want you to be focusing on your breath at first. I want you to be mindful of any other thoughts or distractions that come into play while we're in meditation, to not allow them to stay there. Recognize it, know what it is, and then, hey, I know what that is. I'm not going to pay attention to that. I'm going to tune it out. So, those are some things that I have definitely, when I first started my meditation on a daily basis, that's some things that I noticed that I was struggling with at first. So that's why I'm giving you guys these tools and these tips, because it takes a little bit. It's not going to happen probably the first time we do it. It might feel uncomfortable or weird, and it might be hard for you to get comfortable and to be able to really feel that. So, that's huge. Now, The visualization ability, this is something that comes a little bit more when you're doing it a little more and you've been practicing it quite a bit and you now can start doing the visualization part of it. So one thing that's really cool is a study on Buddhist meditation has shown how your visual sensitivity can significantly improve the daily meditation practice. It really can. So when you're actually when I start putting those visuals, like you're here, you're at a beach, with you're feeling the sand and the sun is setting, but you can still feel the heat of the sun. Like there's going to be these things that I give you that are going to help you to visualize a different place of where you would want to be or where is a calming place that I provide you, right? So that's awesome. So, and then further studies have found results like lower visual thresholds and better hearing abilities after meditation as well. So that's great. Another important aspect that has been found is that the ability to visualize and imagine also improves. So let's think about this. When we're kids, we have such a huge imagination. We can visualize we visualize these things. We played um, different imagination games where, oh, if you step one more step, you're going to fall into the lava pit, and we had these when we were a kid. And so it's very important for us to bring a lot of that imagination back into our adulthood because it helps with growth. It helps with, seeing and being present when new opportunities arise in our lives. And so I do feel that that is a huge aspect of meditation as well. And you will also experience fewer mental distractions and respond faster. So that is one thing that I have definitely noticed. I feel like I've always responded quickly. However, I didn't respond quickly effectively. Does that make sense? So before I really started diving into more of my meditation, I didn't have that. I didn't have where you know, I could respond with actual. And what I mean by being effective, let me go back. So like being effective in your in not allowing your distractions, or speaking fast, or reacting fast. When you have that peace of mind with meditation, you're actually doing it more effectively. Okay, so it's like what I've always told my boys, and what I've learned is, your every action has a reaction that has a consequence, right? So we need to be able to do it effectively and do it um, without damaging uh, whatever we have going on, right? So if you have a life change that's happening, right? In order to what is going to be the best route to take, either like job wise or with your family, any big decisions, right? You want to be able to have more of an effective, more of a faster response time to that. But you also want to take the time to and know that you're doing the right thing, right? So that's what I mean by being effective. I hope that made sense. Memory and intelligence, which I'm struggling, I feel like, with a little bit this morning. Our memory and intelligence somehow reflect how healthy our mind is. So when we do the meditation, it helps that. It helps with our memory. I have felt that. I have felt that the more I do my meditation, the more I quiet the mind, the more I'm able to remember things that I was forgetting. It's so crazy how this works. It's incredible. It's incredible. So, and creativity and self, you know, actualization, like knowing who you are. You start really reflecting on who you are, what you've become, what you want to become. And so all these things are what meditation can bring to the table. And so I definitely want to start doing that in the beginning of every show. All right, guys, we're going to go on a quick little break, but I will be back. And then second half of our show is what I was saying. We're going to be talking about Thanksgiving and how to have a good mindset within that. So, all right, stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Welcome back. Welcome back. NTX Radio is a radio and podcast collective proudly serving all of North Texas and can be heard all over the world on TuneIn Radio and on the NTX Radio app on Android, Apple CarPlay, or just ask Alexa to play NTX Radio. Check out our lineup and more at ntxradio.com. We thank our valued partners in helping us amplify the voices of North Texas. Be sure to connect with Todd Hurd and Associates, attorneys at law, for your civil law needs at texasattorneylaw.com. And if you're processing credit cards, join the Swipe Nation today and save on processing fees at swipenationusa.com, locally owned and operated. The holidays are just around the corner. Be sure to shop thetiffy.com for the Tiffy sleeves and scarves. And when you're ready to deliver the right message to the right people at the right time, email Tiffany at t.hurd@ntxradio.com for advertising rates. All right. So, our first half of the show, I was talking about some things that I'm going to start incorporating in the beginning of my Positivity Toolbox show, and that is going to be the meditation aspect of it. I do feel that coming in a with a beginner stages of meditation is going to be so helpful for all of us to be able to really be able to take on the message, to really understand the message, and then all the other benefits that I was sharing in the first half of the show as well. So, the second half of the show, Thanksgiving is coming. It is so close, right? It's, I think, next week, right? I think it's next week. So, some things that are challenging, I have understood in, maybe my past Thanksgivings or even, some of the present Thanksgivings is family. We can't always choose our family. We can't always, um, you know, there's a different person in our family that comes around on Thanksgiving time, right? There could be multiple or a few, or it's a mindset. It is a mindset. We have family members sometimes that we struggle with due to, maybe we disagree with their lifestyle, or maybe we disagree with what they're doing, or how they speak, or what they wear. I mean, it's sometimes it's just as simple as that, guys. But come on, let's think about this. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because, again, we can't pick our family, and we're going to be around our family, and I would rather us have the tools to think positively and to be able to enjoy ourselves with our family instead of having any negative thoughts or any hard feelings or any of that. When we come together as a family, that's your family, regardless of their choices, of what they're wearing, of what they have done in the past. The past is not the present. We live in the present moment, and we should be living in the present moment, not in the past. Now, the past can be a reflection of what we've learned and what we're wanting to accomplish. Okay. Um, so and what we've learned and what we're doing differently now, right? And so having the family members that we have such a hard time, I feel, around sometimes, or we're not looking forward to it, and a lot of you might know what I'm talking about, some of you may not, and feel free to chime in if you have anything to say about it. But I do feel that the best tool that you can use is just to take the negative thoughts out first. Take the negative thoughts of that person out. Start replacing them with positive thoughts. Start thinking about things that that person does that is awesome, or that maybe you forget about, or maybe you don't think about, because sometimes our brains are, so wired to think just the negative instead of thinking anything positive. So we need to change that, right? When we change our mindset, when we change the way we think, that's what's going to that is a reflection, and it's also what is creating our reality of today. Okay. So if we take away those negative thoughts of some of our family members, okay, that we may have challenges with, going to have a good day with that person. It's going to be a good day. It should be a good time with that person. And honestly, if you just can't be around that person during the holidays, then maybe it's best to not, you don't have to really be distant from that person, but maybe, you don't have to necessarily put yourself around that person consistently, constantly, the whole time. You can go and venture out with other family members. And if they're starting to get on your nerves, or if they're saying something about the past and it's starting to upset you or trigger you, the best thing that you can do is walk away and maybe take some time to do some meditation, maybe take some time to do some breathing. Just focus on your breathing for a little bit, calm yourself, put a smile on your face. It is crazy how the muscles in our face just by smiling will change our mood. It changes your complete mood. Believe it or not, try it. I dare you to try it. It works. It absolutely works. So again, you're going to be around family. You should be around your family. You should not let any one or two or however many people from your family discourage you from being around all of your family. You should not allow that. That should not be a reason for you to not be there for them or be involved in the festivities. And because what that does is it hurts others that want to see you, that haven't seen you in a while, that want to spend time with you, right? So, and again, the reason I wanted to speak about this because it is challenging a lot of times during the holidays to be around certain people. And I don't really struggle with this myself, but I do know that there's one or two family members in each one of our families that, um, we have certain feelings about. And regardless of what those feelings are, it should not be reflecting on that day. That's all I'm saying. If you are with your whole family and it is a festive time, it is a time to be joyful, to be grateful and thankful, right? We're supposed to be thankful of our family. We're supposed to be grateful that we have them in our lives, regardless of past experiences or even maybe today things. Maybe somebody did something to you today that hurt your feelings or upset you, and honestly, I think we need to reflect on why that upset you. Why did you allow it to upset you? Right? We allow people to have effect on us, and we shouldn't. We really shouldn't. We should not allow anybody to affect us negatively. That is a choice. It is a choice to allow someone to push your buttons to trigger you. And I have learned this in my um, so many years of living, right? I have learned that there is there is so much there's more to be grateful for, there's more to be thankful for, there is more blessings in my life than there are negative. And there are people in my life that have come and gone. There have been seasons, they've been lessons, and I've learned from them and I've moved on from them. And there are people that are in my life right now that are just beautiful to me, and I love being around them, and I enjoy seeing them, and I enjoy seeing their beautiful faces. And there are some people that, I may not feel that way for right away, but I wish the best for every single person that has come into my life. And I know that the reason that they've come into my life, and that's what you have to go by on a daily basis, is look, not everybody is going to treat you or respect you or to have a positive influence on your life. And there's going to be those that are just lessons. Like I said, they're lessons. They come in, they teach you a lesson, and you learn what not to listen to or what not to allow happen. And one of the things that I have learned is not to allow anybody to affect my peace, to affect my joy, to affect my mood. It's not worth it. It doesn't serve me and my purpose. My purpose is to bring light and joy to others, and I can't do that if I allow somebody to let darkness in, if that makes sense. So, during these festive holiday times, there's going to be lots of food, lots of, um, you know, just smiles, and make sure you're smiling. Make sure you're smiling around your family. Give them a reason to smile back. Even the ones that affect you maybe in not such a positive light, they they still deserve a smile, and they may need it. They may need that light from you, right? When you give them when you give others that you don't feel present maybe the best lifestyle, or they don't present the best version of themselves, you know maybe they need that encouragement from you. Maybe they need um, more of a just forgiveness, a humbleness, a more of a, um, just they need your joyful, amazing, blessed, grateful for them presence, even though you may be feeling a certain kind of way about them or about their attitude or how they treat as somebody or how they've treated a family member or a significant other or whatever it is that this person may have done that has created that wall for you with them. Maybe bring a little bit of that wall down for the holidays and just let them be who they are. See them for who they are and love them for who they are. I feel like that's huge. And think about how that would help you. Who in your life has put you in that situation where you had to get humble, where you had to see your behavior and how it had affected other people. There's so many times in our life where we think of other people and how they've affected us, but we don't think about how we may have affected them, right? Because every day is a challenge for everyone. And sometimes we're so focused, so like one-sided. We've got one thing that we're focused and zoned in on that we might not have we may have missed a way that we have treated another person that put them feeling a certain kind of way or a negative way towards us. You see where I'm going with this? Every every action that has a reaction has a consequence. So even our own actions that we've created that we may not have seen or may not have recognized or may not have known that we did to somebody because they never shared it with us. They just let it go. They're like, "Oh, I don't care." And that's more or less how I feel like we should be. I mean, people are going to be them. People are going to be people. They're going to be who they are. They're going to be what they know. They're going to be what they've seen. They are the version of themselves that they are right now. Okay. We cannot change somebody else. We cannot change who they are or what they do or how they're doing it or what they're doing in their life. We can't change any of that. You can't fix anybody. You can't change them. The only thing that you can do is be that encouraging person that's still showing up and still showing them that they are a blessing in this world, that they still have a purpose. They just may not have found it yet. Right. And that, you know, you're learning lessons. I hope that you're learning from this. I hope that eventually you are learning from whatever it is that is maybe somebody in your family is very destructive and they have been destructive. They've been doing destructive things consistently and they still have not learned the lesson. And the only thing that we can do is still be there for them and just be humble in the fact that they are still a blessing and they are still here for a reason, for a purpose, and they just haven't figured it out yet. I mean, that's the simple way of putting it, right? There are so many variations of what we have in even in ourselves. There are things that we do that we don't see sometimes within ourselves that others have seen and that they're going to that they should point out. We should be able to share these things with our family. We should be able to share these things with our significant others. Just being open and honest is such a big thing. Now, the holidays, I'm not saying is the time to do this, okay? Just allow the festivities to be pleasant, to be happy for everyone, right? Because look, if you're being a negative Nancy, and I hate to use a person's name, it doesn't matter. If you're being negative, all right, you're reflecting that negativity on that festivities with your family instead of appreciating and just being present in the moment and knowing that this is a blessing. It's a blessing to have all of you together, regardless of what's going on in their life, regardless of what's going on in your life, you know? And I'm going to put it like this. I feel like a lot of times we don't necessarily always put ourselves in that person's shoes. We don't always know where it's coming from, what it stemmed from, what they've been going on, what's been going on in their lives that has created this, maybe destruction that they or an insanity or, negativity in their life that you don't have to allow to affect the rest of you. Right. And if you don't feed the negativity with negativity, you're not going to get negativity back. And the majority of the time, you're getting positivity back. Or if they just can't be positive and they're still wanting to make you miserable because they're miserable, guess what? They're going to probably leave because you are not just following suit. You are not falling into their traps of going into that realm with them. You're staying within yourself and your own joyful bliss and your own positive, amazing light self, right? And I will tell you, there have been so many times that I have been in positions with in our well, let me put not positions. I've been present in moments with people that were upset, angry. They weren't acting nice. They were being very negative, very upsetting. They were just everything was upsetting to them. And they were trying to drag me down and I didn't let them. And guess what? In me not letting them drag me down, I changed their mood. This really works. I'm telling you, it works. I have seen it. I have lived it. It changes their mood. When you do not allow someone to bring you into that drama, negative, um, woe is me victim mentality, then you're helping them see a different way of how to communicate, how to be present in that moment. I have done this. I had a very irate customer who was just mad and wanted to be upset at everything and was yelling at the hostess and was yelling at the server and was just being just nasty. Okay? I stepped in. I went over there and I was just nice. I was my light, bubbly self. I was smiling. I was apologetic. And I was like, I was not allowing her attitude to bring my attitude to her level. And I changed her mood. I had her start reflecting on maybe her in her actions. And she even apologized later in saying, I'm sorry. I overreacted on some of that. I appreciate you for being so kind and helping us through this. So do you see where I'm going with that? Like there are so many different ways to approach people. And depending on how we approach our family during the festivities, during the holiday season, that's going to reflect not only on us, but it reflects positive on them. And maybe it may not happen with somebody in your family right away. You do try this and you're trying this method and it's like, it's not working. It's not working. I'm trying. Well, guess what? You have already put yourself that it wasn't going to work. If you've already got the mindset that it's not going to work, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. There are ways to approach every situation. There are ways to change the course of what's going on around you when you're looking at it in a more positive, more open-minded, more putting yourself in their shoes and just being the light, being a beautiful, amazing, smiling person in front of them, regardless of what they are trying to do, regardless of them trying to drag you down and put you back and keep you down in their misery, right? Nobody wants to be miserable. But there are those that are there and they don't know how to get out. They don't know. They have not sought out what they needed to be able to get to that place where maybe you and I are, or maybe you are one of those that and I'm speaking to you right now and you're like, wow, okay, I don't have to be miserable. How does that work? You don't. You don't have to live in misery. It's a mindset. Everything in life is a mindset, and it's how you look at it. If you look at somebody and say that person's never going to change, you're already putting a negative reaction to what they've probably already been thinking. You know what I mean? Think if you could have an effect on someone in a positive way and you were thinking of that person positively daily and thinking, you know what, they're going to see it. They're going to see, and who am I to tell them how to live their life? But, of course there are those that we do see that are sabotaging themselves and you can see it. It's evident, right? So when you see that, instead of constantly thinking that they're a screw up and that they're never going to succeed in life and that they're always going to be in this position, they're always going to be feeling this particular way. You don't know that. You don't know that. I don't know that. I would rather think that this person is going to become a better version of themselves. They just haven't seen the light yet. They haven't seen what it takes to get there yet. Maybe the right person to be in their life hasn't presented that to them yet. And that's huge, right? So let's think about that when we go into these festivities, when we go into being around our family members, and just be joyful, be happy, enjoy the moments with them, enjoy them. Regardless of your past experiences again with them, that doesn't matter, I feel, on these holidays. And what's going to be a difference, and what could be a difference in their life, could be that holiday where you decided you were going to come in and not think of that person in such a negative light, or that they can't be anything other than what they are. They can be better. Everybody can be better. Everybody can be a better version of themselves. It's just a matter of them finding that, and finding when or how or who comes into their life to be able to present that, and get them through that, right? And to maybe, again, be that light in their dark tunnel that they've been staying in, because they haven't had anybody that's actually been encouraging to them. They haven't had anybody that's actually presented, hey, I love you regardless. I love you regardless of the past. I love you regardless of what you may have said yesterday. I love you regardless of what you've been doing in your life that's been sabotaging. I still love you, and I want the best for you, and I am going to encourage you to have that. I want to be encouraging to you to have that more than what you've been experiencing, and what probably other people around you continuously think or say about you. I mean, again, it's a thoughts. It's the thoughts that we create, that we put in our head, that are constantly either creating something positive in our lives, or it's creating something negative in our lives. And it reflects on others. It does. It absolutely reflects on others. So I hope that some of these tools and this insight that I have provided you is going to help you get through the holidays with, maybe some of those that are a little bit more challenging in your family to be around, or maybe those that you think are just, you've put it in your head that they are wrong, bad, all the negative words. I would take all that out. Take all that out. Just try it. Try it for one holiday and see how that helps you. See how that reflects on them. Forgiveness is huge. We need to be able to forgive. We need to be able to forgive ourselves. We need to be able to forgive our family, even when it's so hard and challenging and we really don't want to, because we're like, oh, but you don't know what this person did to me, Diana. Forgive. Why hold a grudge? Why hold on to that and not, why what is holding on to that grudge, or what is holding on to that past experience with that person? How does that serve you? How does that help you be the better version of yourself today? Right? And I mean, this doesn't have to always just be on the holidays. It's all the time. It's all the time. You know what I mean? So, reflecting on how to change your mindset, and how to look at others differently in a more positive light, could really benefit you and your whole entire family. I'm putting that out there for myself and for everyone that's listening. It's not hard. It's not challenging. It's only challenging if you allow it to be, and it's only going to be hard if you let that person have any kind of influence on how you're feeling, or let them have any effect on what you're wanting to accomplish that day, or how you're wanting to be that day, your joy, your peace. If we allow them to take that away, then we're allowing it. We're not helping the situation at all, right? So I say, don't allow that. Be the best version of yourself. Be the light in the darkness around everyone, whether it be on the holidays or just, today, every day. Every day. It just makes a huge difference. It makes an impact. And would you rather be an impact, or would you rather be somebody that is holding others down? Right? I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. I'd rather be an impact. I'd rather impact somebody's day in a positive way than in a negative way any day. So I feel like when we have that kind of attitude, and when you have that kind of thought process, you can be a light in anybody's darkness. You really can. So that is what I wanted to talk about on my second half of my show today. I really appreciate all of you guys listening in today. And I hope that I have given you something today that you can pass on or that you can work with, and that will, maybe you could be that person for that person that you're thinking of when we've been talking about this, that family member. Maybe you can be the person that actually does make a difference and reflect something different for that person and be the light. So, Thanksgiving is just so close. Make sure to also be mindful of what you're consuming and eating, right? Because our bodies need to be healthy just as much as our minds do. And so just make sure you're being mindful of what you're eating and putting on your plate. Don't eat too much. Don't get sick. And don't think too much too about what you're eating. But just do it smart. Maybe seek out a fitness instructor or trainer. We had Adam on our show, the fat loss coach, earlier this morning. And if you can, he's on Facebook and social media, and you can reach out to him if you have any questions or if you need some help with, being more motivated and more disciplined in your healthy and keeping your body healthy, especially through the holidays. All right. Well, that seems to be the end of my show today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed talking with you, and I hope you guys have an amazing, blessed day and be your best version of yourself. I will be back next Wednesday. Have a great day, guys, and a great rest of your week.